Defender's investigation tonight finds the state's homeland security funding in a free fall.
Yeah, and some say that could affect how Texas responds to emergencies like terror attacks, the West explosion, and even severe weather. Defender's investigator Andy Perotti explains what he has uncovered.
Tyler and Terry, within days of the Boston bombings, we've learned state lawmakers moved to cut millions from counterterrorism programs in Texas. This while the federal government slashed the state's homeland security grants by more than half. Armored DPS vessels patrol the Rio Grande with automatic machine guns in search of drug smugglers on the border.
All units, we have a splashdown.
4 patrol boats paid for with federal homeland security funds.
They'll swim over here, come over here in the boats, they'll recover the contraband and race right back to Mexico free. And they'll try again tomorrow.
Since 9/11, Texas has benefited from state and federal homeland security funds to prepare for a potential threat. But a KBU Defender's examination of homeland security grants found those dollars are drying up in Texas. Since 2009, federal grants have dropped 57% from $168 million to $70 million last year. The cause? Both congressional and state budget cuts over the past few years.
I think it's a setback.
U.S. Congressman Lloyd Doggett says reducing these funds could leave Texans vulnerable to an attack, similar to what happened in Boston.
So I think we are risking lives from a future disaster, whether it's natural or otherwise, by not adequately training our first responders and retraining them.
We've got to stop the bleeding.
State Representative Alan Fletcher from Cyprus is the vice chairman on the Homeland Security Committee.
This is just the center of the times. I mean, if we had a horrible event, then the money would start getting thrown out again. Things have been too quiet for too long, and the money trails off.
Another cut includes a 72% decrease in security grants to protect Texas ports, the largest in Houston and Galveston.
Our port security is a critical issue.
The feds aren't the only ones reducing counterterrorism funding in Texas. We've learned within days of the Boston bombings, state lawmakers moved to cut more than $12 million from Texas intelligence programs. Assistant DPS Director Robert Bodash wrote this letter to lawmakers the day after the Boston attacks. He explained 150 state jobs are on the line in programs like the state's 10 Most Wanted Fugitive program, missing and exploited children, and threats against elected officials. He ended his letter with saying, "We cannot afford to be ill-prepared for any attack or threat."
Who's going to be over this Article 11 money?
Fletcher hopes he can convince his colleagues to return the funds to DPS.
But when you have a West, which is an industrial accident, and you have, which is terrorism, when you have those things happen, it opens their eyes, and it'll open their wallet. They'll realize that these monies are critical to maintain these entities to do this.
And he's in. Bam.
Critical funding, DPS argues, is needed to keep Texas safe.